Hello again my friends, this is the boy and his dog, and welcome to the channel where I play, rank and review every game released on the Evercade, old and new. In today's video, yes, finally we get a review, and it's Duke Nukem, but probably not the one you're expecting. There you go, throwing in a bonus obscure Doctor Who reference already, and we haven't even got past the intro. Today we are taking a deeper butchers at first game on the second Duke Nukem collection, Duke Nukem Advance. I know it should be Duke Nukem 3D first, but blame that on the patch and loads of other shenanigans. I wanted to give you guys another couple of views before the new collections come in, and this was the next one I felt confident enough to share my opinions on. So there it is. Shall we get stuck in then? Alien scientists have taken control of the top secret Area 51 military base and are plotting to overthrow the Earth, but not if Duke can stop them. Duke Nukem Advance is a 3D first-person shooter developed by Taurus Games, published by Take-Two Interactive and originally released on the Game Boy Advance in August the 12th, 2002 in North America and slightly later in Europe on September the 20th. Although many of the graphics and sounds were taken from the original Duke Nukem 3D, this is in fact its own separate game with its own stages and storyline. Honestly, first and most obvious thing to mention is how good this is for a 3D first-person shooter on the Game Boy Advance. So impressive. Of course it does look very pixelated and a bit of a mess when playing on a large TV, but it was never intended for that, and to be fair, you do get used to it after a while because it plays so smoothly. And stick it in an EXP and you're well away. I would say it looks and plays totally sound on the Super Pocket 2, but the one drawback is the shoulder button placement, making certain sections tricky, like fighting the first boss. It's not a deal breaker, but I thought I ought to mention it. As stated before, it plays so smoothly and controls are as simple as can be. The D-pad up and down move you forwards and back, with left and right turning you in those directions, and the two front shoulder buttons used to strafe left and right. And you can jump. Buttons and switches within levels are automatically selected when you approach them, which is handy and an easy solution for the time I would expect. Holding down the select button brings up your weapon select, which you can go back and forth through with the shoulder buttons before letting go of select and changing to that weapon. And there is a decent array of weapons: shotguns, desert eagles, rocket launchers, pipe bombs, freeze guns, and my favourite, the shrink ray, which shrinks most enemies down and then you can stomp them to death. The camera even does a cool tilt over your enemy when you're about to do the stomp. There's even a decent enough map you can access by pausing the game and selecting it from the menu. It's not immediate, and the map itself is wireframe based and a little jerky to move around, but it's nice that it's there all the same. The game is very simple and easy to pick up, meaning you can get straight down to the playing. An in-game save feature is included between stages of 5 available slots, which is a nice feature, but obviously with Evercade we do have save states and quick save at any time. Also remember to exit out of a game back to the Evercade home screen when using the in-game saves, as it's noted it can cause shenanigans, and we always have enough shenanigans around without adding to it.
What a mess. Damn.
On the front end we get the choice of 4 difficulties, which is part of the cause of Dukey really, and a decent enough comic book style opening sequence with a very small smattering of audio animation, Duke 1-liners mostly, which sets the scene. All conversations within levels are text only with a little head icon in speech boxes at the bottom of the screen. You actually get to travel to 4 different main locations, which I was surprised about. You're briefly in Area 51 for 3 stages, and they are rather small and straightforward, before moving on to Egypt and then Sydney, which have 4 stages each, and the layouts get a bit more complicated with the usual keycard and switch backtracking. And don't forget to search for secret areas. While they are not as abundant as the insane amount of nooks and crannies in Duke 3D, they still exist. That word cranny always worries me. Is it in fact something we want to go into too deeply? Maybe there's a sport, cranny crawling. And finally, and unsurprisingly, you end up on an alien ship which takes up the bulk of the game, with I think about 8 stages to it. There are bosses present and they can be a bit tricky. I found the first one especially a bit of a bitch until I learnt to just stay in the middle of the circle and dodge rockets as good as BBC presenters and comedians do with income tax. All the different occasions look unique enough from each other. I especially like the detail to the Egyptian area and was impressed with Sydney's large outdoor areas. The alien ship is suitably unique but maybe a little too busy in places. Again, I would stress, to see these locations at their best you need to be playing on the EXP or Super Pocket, but it doesn't take away from the fun if you don't. Some of the stages are interactable like Duke 3D, though not to the same degree. There are drink and food dispensers that make a noise when you are close, and some even open up hidden areas. Have a look around. A lot of computer screens and panels and embryo containers can be shot and destroyed. Fire extinguishers can be shot and used as explosives near enemies. And there are your usual pickups of ammo types, health packs and armor additions. Then there are the colour keycards to allow access to locked areas. Anything else is strictly story specific, and as you can't select items, they will always be used automatically when needed if they have a physical use. So there's definitely a decent sized game to be had here. It won't take you forever to get through, but it doesn't outstay its welcome. I know it's nowhere near as hard as 3D, but it's not as easy as it first appears either. It is a lot of fun and was a big surprise to the Duke Nukem collections, to be sure. Both collections have surprised me a lot actually. A lot were thinking the second collection wouldn't be a patch on the first, but actually it's a damn good set, all being said. You 100% get your money's worth with the free titles included. So final thoughts, a damn fun time. Might do some of your eyes in playing for too long on the VS, but my eyes kind of got used to it I suppose because they're a bit shit anyway. And if it's the only Evercade you have, it may put you off a bit. And if you've got a Super Pocket, you might struggle with the strafing, but you've got the EXP, you've got no bloody excuse. Stick this in your machine and have a damn good blast, baby. It's so much fun. And if you've made it here to the end of the episode, thanks ever so much for joining me. Leave a thumbs up or comment if you'd like. Either way, I'm just chuffed you poked your head in for a goosey gander. As always, I hope you're having the most awesomest of days, my friends. And until next time, be seeing you.